Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. All thanks and praise are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and may His peace and blessings be upon His last and final messenger, his family, his companions, and those who follow them until the end of times. Welcome to lesson number 51 of Tafsir al-Jalalayn. Alhamdulillah, in yesterday's lesson, we were able to cover verses 59 to 76 of Surah Al-Nisa. So inshallah today we're going to be starting with verse number 77. And I'm going to ask our beloved student, Abdul Razak, to start us off by reciting the page from the Mus'haf first, followed by the first paragraph of the Tafsir. So go ahead and start us off for today. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وما لكم لا تقاتلون في سبيل الله والمستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان الذين يقولون ربنا أخرجنا من هذه القرية الظالم أهلها واجعل لنا من لدنك وليا واجعل لنا من لدنك نصيرا الذين آمنوا يقاتلون في سبيل الله والذين كفروا يقاتلون في سبيل الطاغوت فقاتلوا أولياء الشيطان إن كيد الشيطان كان ضعيفا ألم تر إلى الذين قيل لهم كفوا أيديكم وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة فلما كتب عليهم القتال إذا فريق منهم يخشون الناس كخشية الله أو أشد خشية وقالوا ربنا لم كتبت علينا القتال لولا أخرتنا إلى أجل قريب قل متاع الدنيا قليل والآخرة خير لمن اتقى ولا تظلمون فتيلا أينما تكونوا يدرككم الموت ولو كنتم في بروج مشيدة وإن تصبهم حسنة يقولوا هذه من عند الله وإن تصبهم سيئة يقولوا هذه من عندك قل كل من عند الله فما لهؤلاء القوم لا يكادون يفقهون حديثا ما أصابك من حسنة فمن الله وما أصابك من سيئة فمن نفسك وأرسلناك للناس رسولا وكفى بالله شهيدا. قال الإمام السيوطي رحمة الله عليه ألم تر إلى الذين قيل لهم كفوا أيديكم عن قتال الكفار لما طلبوه بمكة لأذى الكفار لهم وهم جماعة من الصحابة وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة فلما كتب فرض عليهم القتال إذا فريق منهم يخافون الناس الكفار أي عذابهم بالقتل كخشيتهم عذاب الله أو أشد خشية من خشيتهم له ونصب أشد على الحال والجواب لما دل عليه إذا وما بعدها أي فاجأهم الخشية وقالوا جزعا من الموت ربنا لم كتبت علينا القتال لولا هلا أخرتنا إلى أجل قريب قل لهم متاع الدنيا ما يتمتع به فيها أو الاستمتاع بها قليل آيل إلى الفناء والآخرة أي الجنة خير لمن اتقى عقاب الله بترك معصيته ولا تظلمون بالتاء والياء تنقصون من أعمالكم فتيل قدر قشرة النواة فجاهدوا أينما تكونوا يدرككم الموت ولو كنتم في بروج حصون مشيدة مرتفعة فلا تخشوا القتال خوف الموت.
In this next verse, in verse number 77, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he's highlighting the condition or the attitude of a particular group of believers when they were initially commanded to fight. So in the early days of Islam, particularly during the Meccan period of prophethood, the rule from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was to remain patient and steadfast. In response to the opposition, the mockery, the rejection, persecution, harassment, and torture of the non-believers, the Muslims were not supposed to fight back. Rather, they were supposed to remain patient, steadfast, firm, and persevere. So كان المسلمون مكفوفين عن القتال مع الكفار ما داموا بمكة. Right? As long as they were in Mecca, they were told to not engage in fighting. Rather, they were told to remain patient and steadfast. But a group of them had this desire to respond. They had this desire to fight back, to protect themselves. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَلَمْ تَرَ إِلَى الَّذِينَ قِيلَ لَهُمْ كُفُّوا أَيْدِيَكُمْ وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ فَلَمَّا كُتِبَ عَلَيْهِمُ الْقِتَالُ إِذَا فَرِيقٌ مِّنْهُمْ يَخْشَوْنَ النَّاسَ كَخَشْيَةِ اللَّهِ أَوْ أَشَدَّ خَشْيَةً. Have you not seen those to whom it was said, hold your hands from fighting, and be steadfast in prayer and pay zakah? However, when fighting is enjoined upon them, then surprisingly, a group of them starts fearing people as one would fear Allah, or fearing even more. وَقَالُوا رَبَّنَا لِمَ كَتَبْتَ عَلَيْنَا الْقِتَالِ. And they say, our Lord, why have you enjoined fighting upon us? لَوْلَا أَخَّرْتَنَا إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ قَرِيبٍ. Would you have not spared us for a little more time? قُلْ مَتَاعُ الدُّنْيَا قَلِيلٌ. Say, the enjoyment of the world is only a little. وَالْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لِمَنِ اتَّقَى. And the hereafter is far better for the one who fears Allah. وَلَا تُظْلَمُونَ فَتِيلًا. And you will not be wronged even to the measure of a fiber. That small thread of film that is found in the middle of a date pit. So Imam As-Suyuti rahimahullah writes, أَلَمْ تَرَ إِلَى الَّذِينَ قِيلَ لَهُمْ. Have you not seen those who had been told? Have you not seen those to whom it was said, كُفُّوا أَيْدِيَكُمْ. كُفُّوا أَيْدِيَكُمْ literally means hold your hands. But the meaning is don't fight. Don't engage in fighting. كُفُّوا أَيْدِيَكُمْ. Hold your hands back عن قتال الكفار. From fighting against the non-believers. لما طلبوه بمكة لأذى الكفار لهم. Right? And this was said to them when they requested fighting in Mecca because of the non-believers harming of them. وهم جماعة من الصحابة. And that was a group of companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Allah is addressing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and saying, have you not seen those to whom it was said, كُفُّوا أَيْدِيَكُمْ عَنْ قِتَالِ الْكُفَّارِ. That hold your hands back from fighting against the non-believers when they requested to do so. Right? When they requested to do so in Mecca because of the non-believers harming of them. وَهُمْ جَمَاعَةٌ مِّنَ الصَّحَابَةِ. And that was a group of companions. وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ. And it was said to them, establish prayer and pay zakah. فَلَمَّا كُتِبَ فُرِضَ عَلَيْهِمُ الْقِتَالِ. And when fighting was prescribed, was enjoined upon them, when fighting was made obligatory upon them, إِذَا فَرِيقٌ مِّنْهُمْ يَخْشَوْنَ يَخَافُونَ النَّاسِ. Then suddenly, right, all of a sudden, surprisingly, a group of them started to fear the people. Right? إِذَا فَرِيقٌ مِّنْهُمْ يَخْشَوْنَ يَخَافُونَ النَّاسِ. A group among them started to fear the people, al-kuffar, meaning the non-believers. عَذَابَهُمْ بِالْقَتْلِ. They started fearing the non-believers. What that means is their punishment by being killed. كَخَشْيَتِهِمْ عَذَابَ اللَّهِ. Just as they feared the punishment of Allah, أَوْ أَشَدَّ خَشْيَةً. Or even more severe than that. مِنْ خَشْيَتِهِمْ لَهُ. Meaning even more severe than their fear of Allah's punishment. Right? Then he says a grammatical point. وَنُصِبَ أَشَدْ عَلَى الْحَالِ. That the word أَشَدَّ is in the state of nasab because it's playing the role of hal. It's playing the role of a circumstantial adverb. وَجَوَابُ لَمَّا. And the response of lamma, the answer of lamma, دَلَّ عَلَيْهِ إِذَا وَمَا بَعْدَهَا. Right? إِذَا and what comes after it indicates towards the response or the answer of lamma, A. And what is it? فَاجَأْهُمْ الْخَشْيَةِ. Fear came upon them all of a sudden. Right? Fear surprised them. It came upon them suddenly. وَقَالُوا جَزَعًا مِنَ الْمَوْتِ. And they said, fearing death, رَبَّنَا لِمَ كَتَبْتَ عَلَيْنَا الْقِتَالِ. O our Lord, why did you prescribe, why did you obligate fighting upon us? لَوْلَا هَلَّا أَخَّرْتَنَا إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ قَرِيبٍ. Right? هَلَّا أَخَّرْتَنَا إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ قَرِيبٍ. If only you had delayed for us a little while. Right? لَوْلَا هَلَّا, meaning if only you had أَخَّرْتَنَا, delayed for us, إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ قَرِيبٍ, for a little more time. If only you had given us a little more time. قُلْ لَهُمْ. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, قُلْ لَهُمْ, say to them, مَتَاعُ الدُّنْيَا قَلِيلٌ. The enjoyment of this world is very little. The enjoyment of this world is temporary. مَتَاعُ الدُّنْيَا, Imam Suyuti explains, مَا يُتَمَتَّعُ بِهِ فِيهَا. It could be referring to what is enjoyed in the life of this world. All of the pleasures, luxuries, and enjoyments of the life of this world. أو الْإِسْتِمْتَاعُ بِهَا, or enjoying the life of this world, period. قَلِيلٌ, very little. آيِلٌ إِلَى الْفَنَى, it is going towards non-existence. It is going towards finishing. وَالْآخِرَةِ أي الْجَنَّةِ, and the hereafter, meaning paradise, خَيْرٌ لِمَنِ اتَّقَى, is far better, is way better for the one who fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the one who is mindful of Allah, for the one who has taqwa. لِمَنِ اتَّقَى عِقَابَ اللَّهِ, for the one who fears Allah or fears the punishment of Allah, بِتَرْكِ مَعْصِيَتِهِ, by abandoning his disobedience or by leaving his disobedience. وَلَا تُظْلَمُونَ فَتِيلًا, and they will not be wronged, or you will not be wronged, even by the width of the thread of a date pit. And then he says the word تُظْلَمُونَ is recited with a ta and a ya, meaning وَلَا تُظْلَمُونَ or وَلَا يُظْلَمُونَ تُنْقَصُونَ مِنْ أَعْمَالِكُمْ. Nothing will be taken away from your deeds, fatina, even the amount of a fatil. And here Imam Suyuti says, قَدْرَ قِشْرَةِ النَّوَى, right, the amount of the film of a date pit. But as we mentioned in a previous lesson, this is sabqul kalam, this is sabqul qalam, this is a oversight from Imam Suyuti. Fatil is actually the small thread or that small thin film that is found in the middle of a date pit. Fajahidu. So if that is the case, then fight and struggle in the way of Allah, because the life of this world is temporary, is going to come to an end anyway, and Jannah is far better for you. أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala highlights there's nothing to be afraid of. That death is not something to be afraid of, because it's going to come to you no matter where you are. If you're sitting in the comfort of your homes and it's decreed for you to leave this world, you will leave this world. And if it's decreed for you to not leave this world and you're in the middle and thick of a battle, you will not leave this world. أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا يُدْرِككُمُ الْمَوْتُ وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيَّدَةٍ, that wherever you may be, death will overcome you, even if you are in a fortified or in fortified towers. Wherever you will be, death will overtake you, even though you are in fortified castles. So here Imam Suyuti writes, أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا, wherever you are, wherever you may be, يُدْرِككُمُ الْمَوْتِ, death will catch you, death will overcome you, death will overtake you. وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ, even if you are in, buruj is the plural of burj, which we usually translate in modern Arabic as a building. Here he says husun, even if you're in a fortress. Mushayyada, that is fortified, right? Murtafi'a, or here he explains it as being high. Even if you're in a tall fortress, even if you're in a high fortress, right, trying to save yourself and protect you, yudrikkumul maut, death will overtake you, death will overcome you. فَلَا تَخْشَوُوا الْقِتَالَ خَوْفَ الْمَوْتِ, so don't be afraid of fighting out of fear of death. And go ahead and read for us the next paragraph. Bismillah.
قال رحمه الله: وإن تصبهم أي اليهود حسنة خصب وسعة يقول هذه من عند الله، وإن تصبهم سيئة جدب وبلاء كما حصل لهم عند قدوم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المدينة يقول هذه من عندك يا محمد، أي بشؤمك. قل لهم كل من الحسنة والسيئة من عند الله من قبله، فما لهؤلاء القوم لا يكادون يفقهون أي لا يقاربون أن يفهموا حديث يلقى إليهم، وما استفهام تعجيب من فرط جهلهم، ونفي مقاربة الفعل أشد من نفيه. ما أصابك أيها الإنسان من حسنة خير فمن الله أتتك فضلا منه، وما أصابك من سيئة بلية فمن نفسك أتتك حيث ارتكبت ما يستوجبها من الذنوب، ورسلناك يا محمد للناس رسولا، حال مؤكدة، وكفى بالله شهيدا على رسالتك.
So the editor of this version split the explanation of the verse into two paragraphs. So we are still on verse number 78, where again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started the verse by saying, أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا يُدْرِككُمُ الْمَوْتُ وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيَّدَةٍ. Wherever you may be, death will overcome you, even if you were in fortified towers. وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ حَسَنَةٌ يَقُولُوا هَذِهِ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. When something good befalls them, they say, this is from Allah. وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ سَيِّئَةٌ يَقُولُوا هَذِهِ مِنْ عِنْدِكَ. But when something evil befalls them, they say, this is from you. قُلْ كُلٌّ مِّنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. Say, both have been destined by Allah. Say, everything is from Allah. فَمَا لِهَؤُلَاءِ الْقَوْمِ لَا يَكَادُونَ يَفْقَهُونَ حَدِيثًا. So what is the matter with these people? What is wrong with these people? They can hardly comprehend anything. They don't seem to understand anything. So وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ أَيْ الْيَهُودِ. So here Imam al-Suyuti is explaining to us that this verse is being addressed to the Yahud, but it could be being addressing anyone who fits this description. وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ أَيْ الْيَهُودِ. Right? حَسَنَةٌ. When something good befalls them. When something good happens to them, meaning to the Yahud, خِصْبٌ وَسَعَةٌ. Right? خِصْبٌ, like times of prosperity, وَسَعَةٌ, and ease and luxury and comfort. يَقُولُ. They say, هَذِهِ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. All of this khair and all of this good, prosperity and wealth and comfort and luxury is from Allah. وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ سَيِّئَةٌ. But if evil befalls them, if evil visits them, or when something evil comes upon them, جَدْبٌ وَبَلَاءٌ, like a drought or a difficulty, كَمَا حَصَلَ لَهُمْ عِنْدَ قُدُومِ النَّبِيِّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ الْمَدِينَةِ. Right? كَمَا حَصَلَ لَهُمْ, just like what happened to them when the Prophet ﷺ came to Medina. Right? After the arrival of the Prophet ﷺ to Medina, the Jews experienced some sort of drought and some sort of financial loss and hardship. And they attributed that to the Prophet ﷺ. يَقُولُ هَذِهِ مِنْ عِنْدِكَ. They say, this is from you, this is your fault. Ya Muhammad ﷺ, بِشُؤْمِكَ. Because of your, like your bad omen, because of your bad luck. قُلْ لَهُمْ. Say to them, كُلٌّ مِنَ الْحَسَنَةِ وَالسَّيِّئَةِ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. قُلْ لَهُمْ. Say to them, respond to them, كُلٌّ. Everything, good and bad, مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ, is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything that happens in this world, in this universe, happens according to the will, the decree, and divine wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, min qibalihi. Everything is from Him, both good and bad. فَمَا لِهَؤُلَاءِ الْقَوْمِ. What in the world is wrong with these people? لَا يَكَادُونَ يَفْقَهُونَ حَدِيثًا. They don't seem to understand anything. They can hardly comprehend anything. لَا يَكَادُونَ يَفْقَهُونَ. Right? They can hardly understand. لَا يُقَارِبُونَ أَنْ يَفْهَمُوا حَدِيثًا. That they can't even get close to understanding anything. يُلْقَى إِلَيْهِمْ حَدِيثًا, يعني حديثًا, speech, يُلْقَى إِلَيْهِمْ, that is said to them. وَمَا here استفهام تعجيب من فرط جهلهم. He's saying that فَمَا, the ma at the beginning here is istifham. It is turning it into a question, but istifhamu ta'jibin. It's a question that is designed to create amazement and shock and wonder. من فرط جهلهم, because of the extent of their ignorance. وَنَفْيُ مُقَارَبَةِ الْفِعْلِ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala negating, even getting close to understanding, أَشَدُّ مِن نَفِيهِ, is more effective, is in more power than simply negating it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَمَا لِهَؤُلَاءِ الْقَوْمِ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ حَدِيثًا. What's wrong with these people? They don't understand anything. But Allah says, لَا يَكَادُونَ يَفْقَهُونَ. Right? They can't even get close to understanding. As if they can't even get close. He's saying conveying it in this way there's more intensity in it. It conveys the meaning in a more profound and eloquent manner. Right? ما أصابك من حسنة فمن الله وما أصابك من سيئة فمن نفسك وأرسلناك للناس رسولا وكفى بالله شهيدا. Whatever good befalls you is from Allah, and whatever evil befalls you is from yourself. We have sent you as a messenger, and Allah is sufficient as a witness. And this is a continuation of what the Prophet ﷺ should say to them. مَا أَصَابَكَ أَيُّهَا الْإِنسَانِ. Whatever befalls you, O human, min hasanatin, in terms of good, khayr, in terms of khayr, فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. Then it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أَتَتْكَ فَضْلًا مِنْ. It has come to you from the grace and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا أَصَابَكَ مِنْ سَيِّئَةٍ. And whatever evil befalls you, بَلِيَّةٍ. Whatever evil befalls you in terms of trials and tribulations and tests, فَمِن نَفْسِكَ. Then it's from yourself, أَتَتْكَ. It has come to you from yourself. How? حَيْثُ ارْتَكَبَتْ مَا يَسْتَوْجِبُهَا مِنَ الذُّنُوبِ. By doing, right? حَيْثُ ارْتَكَبْتَ. By you having done مَا يَسْتَوْجِبُهَا. What results in it in terms of sin. Meaning the difficulties and hardships you are experiencing are a consequence of your dhunub. The sabab is your dhunub. It's coming from Allah, because قُلْ كُلُّ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. But the immediate cause of it is your sins, your dhunub, your poor choices. وَأَرْسَلْنَاكَ يَا مُحَمَّدُ لِلنَّاسِ رَسُولًا. And we have sent you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to mankind as a messenger. He says, حَالٌ مُؤَكِّدَةٌ. The word rasulan, grammatically speaking, is a circumstantial adverb that provides emphasis. وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sufficient as a witness. عَلَى رِسَالَتِكَ. He is sufficient as a witness upon your messengership. Now, go ahead and recite for us the next page and the first paragraph of the tafsir. Bismillah.
من يطع الرسول فقد أطاع الله ومن تولى فما أرسلناك عليهم حفيظا ويقولون طاعة فإذا برزوا من عندك بيت طائفة منهم غير الذي تقول الله يكتب ما يبيتون فأعرض عنهم وتوكل على الله وكفى بالله وكيلا أفلا يتدبرون القرآن ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا وإذا جاءهم أمر من الأمن أو الخوف أذاعوا به ولو ردوه إلى الرسول وإلى أولي الأمر منهم لعلمه الذين يستنبطونه منهم ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته لاتبعتم الشيطان إلا قليلا فقاتل في سبيل الله لا تكلف إلا نفسك وحرض المؤمنين عسى الله أن يكف بأس الذين كفروا والله أشد بأسا وأشد تنكيلا من يشفع شفاعة حسنة يكن له نصيب منها ومن يشفع شفاعة سيئة يكن له كفل منها وكان الله على كل شيء مقيتا وإذا حييتم بتحية فحيوا بأحسن منها أو ردوها إن الله كان على كل شيء حسيبا قال رحمه الله من يطيع الرسول فقد أطاع الله ومن تولى أعرض عن طاعته فلا يهمنك فما أرسلناك عليهم حافظا لأعمالهم بل نذيرا وإلينا أمرهم فنجازيهم وهذا قبل الأمر بالقتال ويقولون أي المنافقون إذا جاءوك أمرنا طاعة لك إذا برزوا خرجوا من عندك بيت طائفة منهم بإدغام التاء في الطاء وتركه أي أضمرت غير الذي تقول لك في حضورك من الطاعة أي عصيانك والله يكتب يأمر بكتب ما يبيتون في صحائفهم يجازوا عليه فأعرض عنهم بالصفح وتوكل على الله ثق به فإنه كافيك وكفى بالله وكيلا مفوضا إليه فلا يتدبرون يتأملون القرآن وما فيه من المعاني البديعة ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا تناقضا في معانيه وتباينا في نظمه.
In this next verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, مَن يُطِعِ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهِ. One of the most important principles we have within Islam. Whoever obeys the messenger has obeyed Allah. Whoever obeys the messenger has truly obeyed Allah. وَمَن تَوَلَّى فَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ عَلَيْهِمْ حَفِيظًا. And whoever turns away, then we did not send you to stand guard over them. Whoever turns away, then we have not sent you as a keeper, as a guardian over them. So Imam As-Suyuti rahimahullah, he writes, مَن يُطِعِ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهِ. Whoever obeys the messenger has truly obeyed Allah. وَمَن تَوَلَّى, and whoever turns away, أَعْرَضَ عَنْ طَاعَتِهِ فَلَا يُهِمَّنَّكَ. أَعْرَضَ عَنْ طَاعَتِهِ, whoever turns away from his obedience, فَلَا يُهِمَّنَّكَ, then it should not cause you hum. It should not make you feel sad or sorry, or should not cause you any sort of distress and discomfort. فَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ عَلَيْهِمْ حَفِيظًا, because we have not sent you as a guardian over them. حَافِظًا لِأَعْمَادِهِمْ, as a guardian over their deeds and actions. بَلْ نَذِيرًا, rather we sent you as a warner. Right? Rather we sent you as a warner. وَإِلَيْنَا أَمْرُهُمْ, and their affairs return to us. فَنُجَازِيهِمْ, and we will repay them. وَهَذَا قَبْلَ الْأَمْرِ بِالْقِتَالِ, and Imam Suyuti, he adds here that this meaning of, avoid them and turn away from them is before the command to fight against them. وَيَقُولُونَ طَاعَةً, right? Then Imam Suyuti, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, returns to the discussion of the hypocrites. وَيَقُولُونَ طَاعَةً فَإِذَا بَرَزُوا مِنْ عِنْدِكَ بَيَّتَ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنْهُمْ غَيْرَ الَّذِي تَقُولُ وَاللَّهُ يَكْتُبُ مَا يُبَيِّتُونَ فَأَعْرِضْ عَنْهُمْ وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ وَكِيلًا. And they say, we obey. But when they leave you, a group of them would spend the night contradicting what they said. Allah records all their schemes. Allah records what they conspire. So turn away from them and put your trust in Allah, and Allah is sufficient as a trustee of affairs. Allah is enough to trust in. وَيَقُولُونَ, أي الْمُنَافِقُونَ إِذَا جَاءُوكَ أَمْرُنَا طَاعَةٌ. وَيَقُولُونَ, and they say, أي meaning الْمُنَافِقُونَ, the hypocrites say, إِذَا جَاءُوكَ, when they come to you, أَمْرُنَا طَاعَةٌ, our matter is obedience. لَكَ, our affair, our matter is obedience for you. We're obeying you. فَإِذَا بَرَزُوا مِنْ عِنْدِكَ خَرَجُوا مِنْ عِنْدِكَ, but when they leave your company, بَيَّتَ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنْهُمْ, a group among them conspires at night. بَيَّتَ, a group among them spends the night. بِإِدْغَامِ التَّاءِ فِي الطَّاءِ, he says that one way to read it is بَيَّتْ طَائِفَةٌ, by doing idgham, assimilating the ta into the ta. That is one way to recite it. وَتَرْكِهِ, and another way is by not doing that. In a بَيَّتَ طَائِفَةٌ, by reciting each letter, the ta and the ta, separately. A أضمرت, right? They conceal this. أضمرت, they conceal. غير الذي تقول, right? غير الذي تقول, right? They say contrary to what they say to you, contradicting what they said. لك في حضورك من الطاعة. So basically they spend the night, right? بيت طائفة منهم, they spend the night غير الذي تقول, right? Contrary to what they say, contradicting what they said to you in your presence in terms of your obedience. A عصيانك, they spend the night in your disobedience. والله يكتب ما يبيتون, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is recording, meaning يأمر بكتب, commands that ما يبيتون, what they conspire with, be recorded. في صحائفهم, in their record of deeds. ليجازوا عليه, so that they can be recompensed for it. فأعرض عنهم بالصفح, ignore them completely, turn away from them completely. وتوكل على الله, and place your trust in Allah. ثق به, rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. فإنه كافيك, because He is sufficient for you, because He suffices you. وكفى بالله وكيلا, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sufficient as a wakil, as a guardian, as a protector. مفوضا إليه, to delegate one's affairs to. أفلا يتدبرون القرآن, don't they reflect on the Quran? Do they not then ponder over the Quran? ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا, had it been from someone other than Allah, they would have found in it a great deal of discrepancy. Had it been from anyone other than Allah, they would have certainly found in it many inconsistencies. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ يَتَأَمَّلُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Do they not then ponder, reflect, and think upon the Qur'an? وَمَا فِيهِ مِنَ الْمَعَانِ الْبَدِيعَةِ. And what it contains in terms of amazing, eloquent, beautiful, powerful meanings. Amazing meanings. وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ. And if it had been from someone other than Allah, لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. They would have found many inconsistencies. They would have found a lot of discrepancies. تَنَاقُضًا فِي مَعَانِيهِ. They would have found contradictions in its meanings. وَتَبَايُنًا فِي نَظْمِهِ. And differences in its nazm, differences in its style, or differences in its eloquence. That some parts would be eloquent and some parts would not. Some parts would be of a particular style, some parts would not. The meanings would contradict each other. And since this is not the case, since there's no contradiction in meaning, since there's no discrepancy, since there's no differences in the Qur'an, it is definitely from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Go ahead and read the next paragraph for us. Bismillah.
قال رحمه الله: وإذا جاءهم أمر عن سرايا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم مما حصل لهم من الأمن بالنصر أو الخوف بالهزيمة أذاعوا به أفشوه نزل في جماعة من المنافقين أو في ضعفاء المؤمنين كانوا يفعلون ذلك فتضعف قلوب المؤمنين ويتأذى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ولو ردوه إلى الخبر إلى الرسول وإلى أولي الأمر منهم أي ذوي الرأي من أكابر الصحابة أي لو سكتوا عنه حتى يخبروا به لعلمه هل هو مما ينبغي أن يذاع أو لا. الذين يستنبطونه يتبعونه ويطلبون علمه وهم المذيعون منهم من الرسول وأولي الأمر ولولا فضل الله عليكم بالإسلام ورحمته لكم بالقرآن لاتبعتم الشيطان فيما يأمركم به من الفواحش إلا قليلا.
So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues and tells us وَإِذَا جَاءَهُمْ أَمْرٌ مِّنَ الْأَمْنِ أَوِ الْخَوْفِ أَذَاعُوا بِهِ. And when they hear news of security or fear, they publicize it, they spread it. وَلَوْ رَدُّوهُ إِلَى الرَّسُولِ وَإِلَى أُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْهُمْ لَعِلِمَهُ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَنبِطُونَهُ مِنْهُمْ. Had they referred it to the messenger or their authorities, those with sound judgment among them would have validated it. وَلَوْلَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَتُهُ لَاتَّبَعْتُمُ الشَّيْطَانَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Had it not been for Allah's grace and mercy, you would have followed Satan except for a few. So وَإِذَا جَاءَهُمْ أَمْرٌ. When a matter, when an affair comes to them, عَنْ سَرَايَا النَّبِيِّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم مِمَّا حَصَلَهُمْ. Regarding the cavalries of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and what happened to them. And if some news reaches them, if some news comes to them regarding these dispatches that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would send out to fight against the non-believers or to scope out things, if any sort of news regarding them reached them, min al-amni, in terms of peace and security, bin nasri, through victory, aw al-khawfi, or in terms of fear, bil hazima, through defeat. And if they get news of victory or defeat, adha'u bi, they publicize it, they spread it. Afshawhu, they reveal it, they publicize it, they spread it. Now Imam Suyuti mentions the background or the context in which this is being revealed. نزل في جماعة من المنافقين. This was revealed regarding a group of hypocrites. أو في ضعفاء المؤمنين, or a group of weak believers. كانوا يفعلون ذلك. They used to do that. That when they would receive news of what happened to some of the dispatches of the Prophet ﷺ, they would publicize it and spread it. فَتَضْعُفُ قُلُوبُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And that would cause the hearts of the believers to become weak. That's clear when they hear news of defeat, that's demoralizing. But how come in terms of victory? Why would it cause them to become weak? So some of the commentators mentioned because if they're victorious, that means that the non-believers would now want to take revenge. So فَتَضْعُفُ قُلُوبُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَيَتَأَذَّى النَّبِيَّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. And this would cause harm, this would irritate the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That they should not be the ones publicizing and spreading this news and demoralizing and affecting the morale of the believers. وَلَوْ رَدُّوهُ أي الْخَبَرَ. right? If they had referred this news, right? If they had referred this news إلى الرسول, to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وإلى أولي الأمر منهم, and to those having authority among them. And if they had referred this news to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam or their authorities, ذوي الرأي من أكابر الصحابة, right? Those elder companions who had رأي, who had accepted positions and opinions. لو سكتوا عنه حتى يخبروا به, if only they had remained silent regarding it until they themselves were informed about it. لعلمه الذين يستنبطونه منهم, right? The truth of the matter would have come to the knowledge of those of them who are able to investigate, right? Those with sound judgment among them would have validated it. So لعلمه, يعني هل هو مما ينبغي أن يذاع, right? What would they know? What would they understand? They would know that, is this something appropriate to publicize? Is this news that we received something appropriate to publicize and spread? أو لا, or not. الذين يستنبطونه, right? Those who basically validate it. يتبعونه ويطلبون علمه. يتبعونه, they validate it and they seek it, and they seek its knowledge. وهم المذيعون, and it is those who publicize. منهم, amongst them. من الرسول وأولي الأمر, from the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and those in authority. ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته, and if it were not for the grace of Allah upon you, بالإسلام. ولولا فضل الله عليكم بالإسلام, if it wasn't for the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon you through Islam. ورحمته, and His mercy, لكم بالقرآن, and His mercy for you through the Quran. لاتبعتم الشيطان, you would have followed Satan. فيما يأمركم به من الفواحش, in terms of what he commands you to do in terms of obscene behavior. إلا قليلا, except for a few. So in this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing a particular incident or a particular attitude that the hypocrites had, that when they would receive news of either victory or defeat, they would go and publicize it and spread it throughout Medina. And by doing so, they were creating problems and they were affecting the morale of the companions. And this is not something that they should have been doing. Rather, spreading this news and letting people know about it and publicizing it should have been up to the discretion of the Prophet ﷺ or the proper authorities. So they're being told not to do that. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala highlights that being the fadl of Allah, right, the grace of Allah is Islam, and His rahmah is the Quran. And if it weren't for the fadl and rahmah of Allah, لَاتَّبَعْتُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ, then people would have followed shaitan, إِلَّا قَلِيلًا, except for a few. Right, go ahead and read the next paragraph. Bismillah.
قال رحمه الله: فقاتل يا محمد في سبيل الله لا تكلف إلا نفسك فلا تهتم بتخلفهم عنك. المعنى قائل ولو وحدك، قاتل ولو وحدك فإنك موعود بالنصر، وحرض المؤمنين، حثهم على القتال ورغبهم فيه، عسى الله أن يكف بأس حرب الذين كفروا والله أشد بأسا منهم وأشد تنكيلا تعذيبا منهم. فقال صلى الله عليه وسلم: والذي نفسي بيده لأخرجن ولو وحدي، فخرج ب70 راكبا إلى بدر الصغرى، فكف الله بأس الكفار بإلقاء الرعب في قلوبهم، ومنع أبا سفيان عن الخروج كما تقدم في آل عمران.
So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam directly, saying, فَقَاتِلْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, so fight in the way of Allah. So fight in the way of Allah. لَا تُكَلَّفُ إِلَّا نَفْسَكَ, you are accountable for none but yourself. You are not responsible but for yourself. وَحَرِّدِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَحَرِّدِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and motivate the believers. عَسَى اللَّهُ أَن يَكُفَّ بَأْسَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, so perhaps Allah will curb the disbelievers' might. وَاللَّهُ أَشَدُّ بَأْسًا وَأَشَدُّ تَنْكِيلًا, and Allah is far superior in might and in punishment. Yani persuade the believers. It is likely that Allah will prevent the mischief of those who disbelieve. Allah is the strongest in power and the mightiest in punishing. فَقَاتِلْ يَا مُحَمَّدْ, so fight, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, fi sabilillah, in the path of Allah, in the way of Allah. لا تكلف إلا نفسك. You are accountable for none but yourself. You are not responsible إلا نفسك, but for yourself. فلا تهتم بتخلفهم عنك. So don't be concerned with them remaining behind from you. Right? Don't be concerned about them remaining behind. المعنى قاتل ولو وحدك. And the meaning that's being conveyed here is fight, even if it's by yourself. فإنك موعود بالنصر. Because you are promised victory. وحرد المؤمنين. But encourage the believers. حثهم على القتال. Encourage them to fight. ورغبهم فيه. And create a desire within them to do so. عسى الله أن يكف بأس حرب الذين كفروا. Perhaps Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will prevent, will curtail, will curb the war of those who have disbelieved. وَاللَّهُ أَشَدُّ بَأْسًا مِّنْهُمْ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is far superior in might and power than them. وَأَشَدُّ تَنْكِينًا. And is more severe or superior in punishment. تَعْذِيبًا مِّنْهُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is far superior in punishment than them. فَقَالَ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ. By the one in whose hand is my soul. لَأَخْرُجَنْ. I will certainly head out. وَلَوْ وَحْدِي. Even if by myself. فَخَرَجَ بِسَبْعِينَ رَاكِبًا إِلَى بَدْرٍ الصُّغْرَى. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent out with 70 riders to the battle of Badr al-Sughra, which happened the year after the battle of Uhud. فَكَفَّ اللَّهُ بَأْسَ الْكُفَّارِ بِإِلْقَاءِ الرُّعْبِ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala curbed and prevented the mischief of the non-believers by placing fear in their hearts. وَمَنَعَ أَبَا سُفْيَانَ عَنِ الْخُرُوجِ. And prevented Abu Sufyan from even coming out and meeting the Prophet ﷺ and his companions on the battlefield. كما تقدم في آل عمران, as has come before in Surah Ali Imran. Go ahead and read the next paragraph. Bismillah.
قال رحمه الله: من يشفع بين الناس شفاعة حسنة موافقة للشرع يكون له نصيب من الأجر منها بسببها، ومن يشفع شفاعة سيئة مخالفة له يكون له كفل نصيب من الوزر منها بسببها، وكان الله على كل شيء مقتدرا فيجازي كل أحد بما عمل. وإذا حييتم بتحية كأن قيل لكم سلام عليكم فحيوا المحيي بأحسن منها بأن تقول له عليك السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته، أو ردوها بأن تقول له كما قال: الواجب أحدهما والأول أفضل، إن الله كان على كل شيء محاسبا فيجازي عليه. ومنه رد السلام. وخاصة السنة الكافر والمبتدع والفاسق والمسلم على قاضي الحاجة ومن في الحمام والآكل، فلا يجب الرد عليهم بل يكره في غير الأخير. ويقال للكافر: وعليك الله لا إله إلا هو، والله لا يجمعنكم من قبوركم إلى في يوم القيامة لا ريب شك فيه، ومن أي لا أحد أصدق من الله حديثا قولا.
Here in this next verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, من يشفع شفاعة حسنة يكن له نصيب منها. Whoever intercedes for a good cause will have a share in the reward. Whoever makes a good recommendation, there shall be for him a share from it. وَمَنْ يَشْفَعْ شَفَاعَةً سَيِّئَةً يَكُنْ لَهُ كِفْلٌ مِنْهَا. And whoever intercedes for an evil cause will have a share in the burden. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ مُقِيتًا. And Allah is watchful over all things, or Allah is powerful over everything. مَنْ يَشْفَعْ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. Whoever intercedes between people, whoever intercedes on behalf of people, شفاعة حسنة, a good intercession, موافقة للشرع, that agrees with the Sharia, that agrees with the objectives and the goals of the Sharia. So what exactly is شفاعة حسنة? والشفاعة الحسنة هي التي روعي بها حق مسلم. Right? A good intercession is one in which the right of Muslims is given consideration and looked after. وَدَفْعُ بِهَا أو وَدَفَعَ بِهَا عَنْهُ شَرٌ. And by doing so, he's removing and preventing harm from the person. وَابْتَغَى بِهَا وَجْهَ اللَّهِ. and they're doing it seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they don't receive anything in return for it, and they're doing it sincerely, and it's being doing in something permissible. Right? The intercession is being done for something permissible. So whoever intercedes for a good cause, مَن يَشْفَعْ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ, whoever intercedes amongst people and for a person, شَفَاعَةً حَسَنَةً, a good intercession, مُوَافَقَةً لِلشَّرْعِ, that agrees with the Sharia, that is compatible with the Sharia, يَكُلْ لَهُ نَصِيبٌ مِنَ الْأَجْرِ مِنْهَا بِسَبَبِهَا. يَكُلْ لَهُ نَصِيبٌ, he will have a share from it, meaning he will share in the reward. Min al-ajri, that's what Imam Suyuti clarifies. He will have a share of the reward, minha bisababiha, because of this good intercession. وَمَن يَشْفَعْ شَفَاعَةً سَيِّئَةً, and whoever intercedes for an evil cause, whoever does an evil intercession, مُخَالَفَةً لَهُ, that opposes and contradicts and goes against the Sharia, يَكُلْ لَهُ كِفْلٌ مِنْهَا, will also have a portion from it. So he says, كِفْلٌ نَصِيبٌ مِنَ الْوِزْرِ, it's referring to a portion of the punishment. Alright, بِسَبَبِهَا, because of that evil intercession. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ مُقِيتًا, and Allah is powerful or watchful over everything. مُقْتَدِرًا, and Allah is powerful over everything. فَيُجَازِي كُلَّ أَحَدٍ بِمَا عَمِلَ, so He repays everyone for what they have done. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recompenses everyone according to what they have done. وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُم بِتَحِيَّةٍ فَحَيُّوا بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا أَوْ رُدُّوهَا إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ حَسِيبًا. And when you are greeted, respond with a better greeting, or at least similarly. Surely Allah is a vigilant reckoner of all things. When you are greeted with a salutation, greet with one better than it, or return the same. Surely Allah is the one who takes account of everything. So وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُم بِتَحِيَّةٍ, if you are greeted with a greeting, if you are greeted with a salutation, كَأَنْ قِيلَ لَكُمْ سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ, right? For example, if it is said to you, سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ, فَحَيُّوا, so greet, respond, الْمُحَيِّي, al-muhayyiya, meaning respond to the one who greeted you, بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا, with something better than it. بِأَن تَقُولُوا لَهُ, by saying to him, عَلَيْكَ السَّلَامُ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ. Right, say something better. أَوْ رُدُّوهَا, or say something similar, بِأَن تَقُولُوا لَهُ كَمَا قَالَ, by saying to him something similar to what he said. الْوَاجِبُ أَحَدُهُمَا, meaning what is wajib? It's to respond with one of them at least, by responding with something better or responding with something similar. وَالْأَوَّلُ أَفْضَلُ, and responding with something better is better, أفضل, more virtuous. إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ حَسِيبًا, truly Allah is the one who takes account of everything, محاسبا, and Allah is the one who accounts everything. فَيُجَازِي عَلَيْهِ, and He will repay for it. وَمِنْهُ رَدُّ السَّلَامِ, and among all those things is returning the salam. So in this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us the etiquette of greeting one another. And the greeting we have in Islam is Assalamu alaykum. And when someone greets us with salam, when someone greets us with Assalamu alaykum, we are supposed to respond with something better. So we should respond by saying Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah. If someone says Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullah, then we respond by saying Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That is the proper etiquette. Or at least we should respond with something similar. When someone says Assalamu alaykum, we respond by saying Wa alaykum assalam. And then Imam As-Suyuti highlights وَخَصَّتِ السُنَّةُ الْكَافِرَةُ وَالْمُبْتَدِعَةُ وَالْفَاسِقَةُ, that the sunnah, meaning from the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ, it has excluded the non-believer, the innovator, and the open sinner. وَالْمُسَلِّمَ عَلَى قَاضِ الْحَاجَةِ, right? And the one who gives salam when they are relieving themselves and they're fulfilling a need. وَمَنْ فِي الْحَمَّامِ, and one who's in the restroom. وَالْآكِلِ, the one who's eating. فَلَا يَجِبُ الرَّدُّ عَلَيْهِمْ, so it's not it is not mandatory for them to respond. بَلْ يُكْرَهُ, rather it's actually disliked. فِي غَيْرِ الْأَخِيرِ, right? It is disliked in all those situations except for the Last one. وَيُقَالُ لِلْكَافِرِ, and in response to a non-believer that greets us, we just say, وَعَلَيْكَ, upon you as well. Allahu la ilaha illahu. Allah, there is nobody worthy of worship except Him. Right? Allah, there's nobody worthy of worship except Him. لَيَجْمَعَنَّكُم مِّن قُبُورِكُم. Right? لَيَجْمَعَنَّكُمْ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. He shall certainly gather you towards the day of doom. He will certainly gather all of you together on the day of judgment. لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. وَمَنْ أَصْدَقُ مِنَ اللَّهِ حَدِيثًا. And whose word is more truthful than Allah's? Who is more truthful in his word than Allah? So Allahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah, there is nobody worthy of worship. There's no deity except for Him. Wallahi la yajma'annakum. And by Allah, He will surely gather all of you. Min quburikum, from your graves. Ila, meaning fi yawmil qiyamah, on the day of judgment. La rayba shakka fi. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Waman, ay la ahad. This is a rhetorical question, right? Who is more truthful than Allah in terms of speech? No one. La ahad asdaqu min Allahi haditha. There's no one more truthful than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in terms of speech. So we are just about out of time, and this is a good place for us to stop today. So we reached the end of verse number 87, and inshallah, in our next lesson, we will pick up with verse number 88. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this effort of ours, place it on our scale of good deeds. May Allah make the Quran a proof for us and not a proof against us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the Quran an intercessor for us on the day of judgment. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevate us through the Quran and guide us through the Quran. وصل اللهم على نبينا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.